Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Brandin America here. And one of my good friends, the Coach Music, he just converted over from Ableton to Logic Pro X. And if you're one of those beginning on Logic Pro X and need to learn how to create some great music, you've got a lot of great ideas but not sure how to do it, well, stay tuned and I'm about to show you some quick tips. Okay, so we're about to jump right into Logic and we're going to create a new project right here. This is the startup window. I'm just going to hit Empty Project, select Choose. This little pop-up menu will show right here. You can create a software instrument track or audio instrument, or audio track. And so we're just going to select the audio track for right now, hit create. And what this eye does right here, just to let you know, is it lets you monitor your input. So if you're not trying to hear that, you can turn that off. We don't really need a recording signal. We can turn that off too. And the reason you're seeing that is because I'm running through another interface and it's still sending a signal, but that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to show you how to take a cool little drum loop, something like this. And there's three different ways that we can get this into Logic, but today we're just going to show you the quick and easy way, and that is drop and drag. So any of the space you have down here where there's nothing else going on, you can simply take an audio loop from wherever. I'm grabbing this from Splice. The video is not sponsored by Splice, but you can just take anything like this. And so when we pull it into Logic and hit play, boom, automatically you can see it's there. Now this sample originally tells us the tempo is at 140. So if we want this the tempo to be the same as the sample, we can just adjust the audio. We can adjust the tempo, which will adjust the session to the audio. And now if you hit Command with this clip highlighted, you hit Command U, you get a loop region, and you see this thing right here will just continue to rock. And let me turn the audio down just a little bit so we're not getting any clipping, but it'll loop right back around, boom, just like that. So let's say we like the drum loop and we like the sounds, but then we might want to try something different with it. So what we can do, I'm going to create a new track so we can keep the sample up here. I'm going to duplicate this by hitting Command D on the keyboard and holding Option, click with the mouse and drag down. Don't let off Option until you've let off your mouse, and that will create a new copy for you right there. So now that we have the old one, we'll mute that right now, and then we're going to zoom in here. And what we want to do is I want to take this first kick right here. So what I can do is, if you see up here, you've got a pointer tool, which is your regular click tool. Over to the right of that is your command or your secondary tool. And normally it'll come defaulted to marquee tool. Well, this is a great tool for on the fly stuff. So what I'm going to do is hold command down, click with my mouse, and you'll see that this line shows up. Well, this line can help us do some cutting. If we hold command and double click, we actually do get it to cut. We'll Command Z that though. But what I want to do is I basically want to cut it over to this next sample part right here. So you hear this little tiny bit. So when I hit command click in here, I can hit arrow over on my keyboard, and you'll see it's jumping. The line is jumping over to these next segments, which is really cool. So what I'm going to do, once I've got it lined up here and I have this sample like that, I'm going to hit Command X on the keyboard. And now I have just this sample right here. I want to do the same thing for this little clap sound right here. And I will Command click, arrow to the right over, hit Command X. And now this particular piece of audio, what is this one right here? That's kind of just like a little hi-hat. So we're going to get that guy too, right? Command click, arrow over to the right, hit Command X. I don't want this piece of audio. And so now we've got this, again, Command U. Okay, but we still didn't cut this one out. So we're going to Command click, go over to the right, hit Command X again, cut that, and we can get rid of all this. So now basically we've got three different cool samples. So that's going to be our clap in a sense. So now if I want to create a whole different pattern, I want to do something completely different with this, I can. To make it a little more simple to understand, I'm going to highlight, I'm going to color each one of these little clips. So highlight the clip you want, or the region they call it, hit Option C. And for this kick, I'll make it this orange. For this clap, I'm going to make it like this yellow gold color. And for this hi-hat, we'll go maybe some kind of purple color. All right, so we can close that. Now what I'm going to do is duplicate this track again. Being highlighted, I'll hit Command D a couple times. Now I've got a track for the kick, I got a track for the clap, and I've got a track for the hi-hat. So what I want to do is I'm going to mute these, get a hi-hat going, maybe just like maybe a quarter note pattern or possibly eighth note pattern. So one thing to note, you see when I drag this all the way over, it didn't want to drag completely over to the beginning because Logic comes defaulted in what they call relative grid. And if I want to make this thing snap to the absolute grid right there on the line, I can come up here where it says smart and change it from snap regions to relative grid to snap regions to absolute value. Boom. So when I do that, boom, there we go. We got the hi-hat exactly on timing. Let's check out this clap. See, the clap itself is actually a little bit off too. So we're going to come drag that over, and the kick looks like it's timed up great. So a lot of times I'll switch it back just for different sakes. I'll explain that later. But what we're going to do is we're going to just take this dragged over this clip here and see, instead of trying to maybe just get this clip to be lined up perfect, what I'll do is hold Command and double click it right on this line right here. You don't have to select that, but I'm going to double click right on that line, and what it does for us is cut it exactly on the grid. So now a quick, easy way to duplicate this region over and over. We could use Option and click with our mouse, but if we highlight these and hit Command R, it will continue to repeat for us. Okay, so you know what? That might have been a little too much. Let's cancel that. Might have been. Let's slow that down just a little bit. Okay. Okay, I like that a little more. So what I'm going to do here, because I have these little spots in between, I'm actually going to copy it over here, but I will use Option, click with my mouse, drag it over, let go of the mouse. Now we actually have a 2-bar little section here at 140 BPM. So I'm going to take the kick. We'll start off the kick. Okay, I want the clap to hit right here. So I'm just going to drag this guy right there. Boom. All right, and I want another clap right there. So we'll highlight this, hold Option, click with your mouse, drag over, then let off Option. And let's trim this region right here on the kick a little more. Let's cut it on this particular line. So I will hold Command, double click, cut it right there on that line. And now let's start Option dragging over. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's go over again. And then let's see. Oh, wrong spot. Let's see, can we make this sound okay? I like that. Okay. Now one thing I want to do here is I want to make these hi-hats go faster at the end, kind of like we had them. So what I did is I just, with my mouse, drag over, highlight, click and drag over all of these clips, regions right here. Hold Option, click and drag over, and boom. Now, when it gets down here, okay, right? Excuse me. So basically, we took a sample that sounded like this. We'll stretch it out a little more so you can hear some more of it. Completely different, but for instance, we like the sounds. We like the drum kit itself. We liked how the kick and the snare and the little clap thing were sounding. So we ended up taking that, cutting it up, and splitting it into these other regions. And if we want to take this entire section, we can click and drag over it. Click on the Option button, click with your mouse, drag over to the next particular spot, and now we've got a 4-bar section, right? Now, something you can do, say you didn't want to change this sample. You didn't want to like go in there and create your own thing, but you wanted to speed it up. You wanted this thing to feel faster. So what we can do with this particular is we can time stretch it. And in order for us to time stretch it and make it go faster, we need to select this little bow tie button up here that says Show and Hide Flex. So we'll click on that, and you see each one of these tracks has a little bow tie looking thing. We'll select it, and normally there's a lot of different algorithms in here, and it'll kind of select which one it thinks is appropriate. So usually you can try that first. But now what we're going to do, instead of changing anything down here, we've got it in flex mode. Let's say we want this track to feel like it's closer to 160. So we can drag this tempo up here. Okay. Excuse me. So now we actually have, a little bit quicker feel to it. But let's say that's not fast enough. Let's go up to 180. Okay. So this is kind of double time if we were to make a track at 90 BPM, right? So other samples that we may have or other things that are 90 BPM will actually line up with this pretty good. You can cut this sample and take snippets of it if you want. But yeah, that's how you pretty much get in here, take, some kind of drum sample, split it up, make it sound uniquely different. Okay, so we got this guy right here. Not the coolest thing I've ever made, but it definitely gives you guys a idea on how to take some samples, organize them. And one tip I have for you, I would definitely go in here and rename each one of these tracks just to give yourself a little more structure and organization. After you get about 20 to 30 or 50 or 80 tracks, eventually they start kind of, getting complicated. So you can also click where the little blue waveform is, right click on it, come up here to drums. And if you just wanted to select particular drum kit so that this helps you, identify, hey, these are my drums. This can also be helpful for your sessions. So anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. Again, I'm Brandin America. And if you guys got any value out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Be sure to drop a comment down below if you got any questions. I'll be happy to get back with you and answer those as quickly as I can. So until the next time, you guys have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Peace and love.